All right, guys, what is up? Today, boom, we are going to be talking about, kaboom, yeah. Today we're going to be talking about CJC-1295 DAC versus no DAC. And for reference, guys, just so you know, a lot of people don't know this, so I'm going to say this. In the US, if you get CJC-1295 DAC from the pharmacy, they don't call it DAC, they just call it CJC-1295. So if you go to any doctor's office, I don't know in other countries, but in the United States, if you get CJC-1295, if you get CJC-1295 DAC from the pharmacy with a prescription in the United States, they're not going to call it CJC-1295 DAC. It's just CJC-1295. Okay, that's what they call it. Okay, so every CJC-1295 is the DAC version. Now, having said that, this is really what you need to know between CJC-1295 DAC and no DAC. CJC-1295, the DAC version, absolutely blows out of the water the no DAC version. First off, milligram per milligram used. Okay, you're going to release way more total HGH level, and they're also corresponding to a higher IGF-1 level. Period. Longer half-life, doesn't degrade. Okay, we're talking about the no DAC version, about 30 minutes. More total HGH will be released from the DAC. Period. It's like taking it's like for you guys' terms to understand, it's like taking Dianabol. Okay, it's like taking Dianabol and making it go from a 4 to 6 hour half-life to let's say they increased the metabolic, they made it more metabolically hard to break down, right? So the enzymes can't break it down. Let's say the half-life goes to 24 hours. What's going to be more potent even if the molecule is not changed? Obviously the longer half-life, duh. So what you guys need to know is DAC over no DAC, way more per milligram to milligram, way more HGH release, way higher IGF-1 increase, way higher benefits, okay? And this is coming from somebody who's used both extensively, pharmaceutical grade, okay? I'm currently using the DAC, obviously, through my clinic. I talk about that. What else do you guys need to know? Besides that, muscle gain, fat loss, feeling good, being Superman, everything is better with the DAC version. I mean, there's some people that advocate for, one big thing, guys, that you need to know, this will probably convince all of you guys, even the people who want to stick to no DAC. The degradation rate. If you reconstitute a vial of no DAC CJC, okay, even if it has stabilizing agents, it degrades, so it'll be completely degraded within maybe 5 days. You're not going to get any, you'll take it, you're not going to feel nothing. Within 5 days, it's useless, okay? Compare that to the DAC version, which actually holds together quite well, okay? Now, anybody, you guys can test this for yourself. Take your DAC and no DAC vial and reconstitute it, and 7 days, you send a sample off to the same lab and have them check the potency, okay? DAC is going to last way longer in the reconstituted state than no DAC, and nobody talks about this, okay? So I'm talking about it. Yeah, besides that, muscle gain, fat loss, well-being, performance, all better with the DAC version. The only negative con with the DAC version is going to be as follows. If you crank dosages through the roof, I'm talking about if you go anything over the accepted safe limits, which are right about, the doctors will say you can use up to, most of them will say you can use up to 400 micrograms continually. If you go over 400 continually, the higher you go, let's say and maybe I've done this, maybe I haven't, but let's say I take 2 milligrams of CJC DAC pharmaceutical grade per day, and I do this for long-term, months. You run the risk of overstimulating your pituitary long-term and causing pituitary tumors, okay? Now, if you keep your dosages low enough, don't worry about it. But we see this with, what is this stuff? Things like you have, oh boy, I better not go. I want to go down the rabbit hole, but I don't. You guys can end the video here if you don't have a science brain. Otherwise, you're going to want to listen to what I have to say. Take GnRH agonists. Okay, this is what produces LH and FSH, and in the human body, then stimulates the testicles, produce testosterone and sperm production. GnRH agonists. Triptorelin will fall into this camp, so will gonadorelin. Same will even off-brand GnRH. Okay, take those for example. We know that using triptorelin or other long-acting agonists on the pituitary, and they use this to treat prostate cancer and stuff like that. When used at super high dosages, it doesn't always do that, but it can cause pituitary tumors. Okay? Now, granted, the dosages they are using are out of this world, but that's just one thing you need to know. So I would caution you, probably do not use anything over 400 micrograms per day of CJC-1295. Okay? I would just, it's not like, again, the comparison I'm making is like, a snowball to, man, what's a good comparison? It's like a snowball to a snowman, okay, like a huge snowman, my size. There's a difference, but still we see just from people using these things like triptorelin or other strong GnRH agonists that if you take super high dosages, you can sometimes develop pituitary tumor. So what I would do is I wouldn't take anything over, just to be on the safe side. Don't use anything over 1 milligram of CJC-1295 per day. And you'd be better off keeping it 500 or less. The doctors would say 400 or less. Guys, that's Spartan. Stay safe, stay healthy. Giving you guys always the best information. And yeah, got some really important news for you guys here coming in the next couple days. We're out.